Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we're going to finally take a look at the Kill Team Quarterly Balance Update. So this was meant to drop last week. Warcom do Warcom things, it's now here. So this has all gone live today at time of recording. This video will drop on the same day. All of the links are in the description below for you to check them out yourself if you immediately want to see how your faction is affected. But I will, of course, be covering each of the teams as we normally do with a series of videos that will be dropping this week. I just need to get them all recorded. But I figured with this one we'd run through the quick balance article just to get the highlights, and then we'll cover the core rules and any changes to equipment so that everything is there for the core side of the game. So how about we just jump into this one, where they're promising big boosts to lower performing teams. I like that. Instead of nerfing the big boys, let's try and remove that power creep by bringing everybody else up. That's good. Time flies when you're conducting thrilling covert actions in the shadow of what's probably the biggest gun in the galaxy. Yes, the latest edition of Kill Team is in full swing. Interesting wording. And it's time for another quarterly balance update, which is free to download below. But first, here's Leela from the Kill Team team to tell us more. We know that these editions are 3-year cycles. Every year they tend to change it up with a different season location. We're coming to the end of this current one, but that says, you know, the edition is in full swing. I would have thought we'd be coming to the end with that next box. Anyway, none of that has anything to do with, sorry, my brain's all over the place today. So this is Leela, she's part of the Kill Team Balance team by the sounds of it, and the focus on this balance update is on teams that remain underperforming after the last update, when the most oppressive teams had their power reduced. Did they? I suppose, well, Thousand Suns got hit quite hard last couple, didn't they? In general, there's been an extremely healthy trend in the meta as more and more teams have settled into an acceptable win rate. However, there are still outliers, mainly on the low end, so this update gives most of its benefits to teams with a 45% win rate or less. Here are some of the main changes. Sanctifier's getting changes. Interesting. They've only just dropped, they're not even available as a single release yet either. They've just come out in their big box, about a month ago? So the Confessor operatives lead the procession rule can no longer be used in the first turning point. Okay. While we would normally wait to receive more quantifiable data, the Sanctifiers have clearly been able to apply too much pressure too early on, which makes learning how to play against them too difficult. Interesting. While the general toolkit of the team will remain intact, allowing anyone who purchased them in Blood and Zeal to continue to enjoy their new product, they should give opponents more breathing room to respond to the Sanctifier's aggressive playstyle. Okay, we will go over that once we get to the Imperial teams. I like that they're not afraid to make changes this early into a team's life cycle. Hopefully that is a positive change in the long run. Hive Storm. The Vespid Stingwings and Tempestus Aquilons both receive an additional operative. Wait, what? How does that work? I don't like that change on the face of it. Both teams' movement tools are quite strong, but they've been struggling under sustained pressure or to complete missions while effectively engaging in shooting or combat. The Aquilon's reinforcement will come in the form of a required operative selection for the Servo Sentry, while Vespid can bring another warrior. Okay. So does that mean Vespids have just gone to a 12-man team? Or 12 Wasp thing team? I'm interested to see what that actually does to team selection. Tau Pathfinders. The Pathfinders have had a rework to their Marker Light faction ability. In the dense city fight of Volcus, they've been struggling to bring down tougher targets while relying on a 4-up hit stat. So their Marker Light table has seen a significant buff. Interesting. Now they'll also receive the Balanced Weapon rule when a target has 1 Marker Light, significantly increasing their accuracy. And while they get a +3 hit stat once the target has 2 Marker Lights. Okay. Pathfinders, when they first came out, they were very oppressive, so I'm surprised to know that they're doing this badly, but I'm not up on their rules for the new edition. So that's going to be an interesting look as well. Kazakin, it's my favourite boys in green. The elite of the Astra Militarum have struggled with damage output and consistency. I think that's fair. So a number of abilities have been reworked to increase lethality and decrease difficulty. Some of their key ploys, such as Clearance Sweep, have had their effects increased to be more reliable. Additionally, the Sergeant can now add an additional skill at arms. allowing for bigger, more impactful plays. Okay, again, I'm interested to get into the details on that one. Other teams. Several teams intended to be able to flex into melee combat, including Herrnkinjägers, Death Corps, Vespid Stingwing, Scout Squad, and Kazakin, have found their melee strategies to be underwhelming. So they have all seen an increase to melee equipment, interesting, or ploy reliability to help them engage in the confines of Volkus and Gallowdark. Some really interesting changes here, some big swings for melee as well. Thanks Layla. The quarterly balance update can be downloaded below. So this article is linked in the description and the download section will be linked as well, so go check it out. So this is the recently updated, there's loads of updates here. We don't know how many of these are big changes, some of them are probably just tweaks, but what we're going to do is take a look at the core rules. So universal equipment and the light rules haven't been touched, which keeps things easy, but we'll take a look at the core rules. Alright, we'll just have a quick scan on this one. So we've got the update log, we just have one update to heavy weapon rules by the looks of it for 1.3. That is all previous, we've touched on that in previous videos. Doesn't look like there's any new questions, there's no changes to the approved ops deck either. So it's just this one change, keeps life simple. So this change is a clarification change to Appendix Weapon Rules Heavy. The first sentence to read, an operative cannot use this weapon in an activation or counteraction in which it moved, and it cannot move in an activation or counteraction in which it used this weapon. I think that's fairly straightforward. All they've added is counteraction. And I think with a heavy weapon, I think that that's fair. We'll see what changes that makes to the overall game. But that's quite a nice, easy one to start with. Now we're going to take a look later this week at all of the teams. We'll run through everything and we'll confirm what's changed and what hasn't as we go through. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in more Kill Team content, please subscribe, drop a like on this video as well if you've enjoyed it. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.